almost all our competitors in Africa have removed such barriers. And it's only a few countries globally that have those barriers. The important thing is to make sure there's mutuality in the investment. And if you take, for example, that our economy is about 85% SMEs, and yet you require a minimum capital requirement for a foreigner to come in, it almost precludes our small SMEs from getting investors because they are small. And if you do a joint venture and you are required to bring in 200,000, and there's a joint venture which is 50-50 between the Ghanaian and the foreigner, it means the Ghanaian has to bring $200,000. How many people can do that? So it also brings a certain limitation. What we've seen from global practices everywhere is that when these limits have been removed, it's created a pathway for partnerships to happen, not only at the top level, but at the bottom level, which is what we really want. That we'll see investors partner with our SMEs and SMIs and enable them to grow.
So is there a hint that's surely coming to get to a point that they remove this requirement?
The thinking, I suspect, is in that direction. The thinking is how to create a more conducive, attractive environment that serves us as well.
By removing the requirement?
Well, if that's what is required for that to happen, yeah. The truth of the matter is that requirement, when it was put there, I don't think it achieved what it was expected to achieve, because it was there to ensure that we do not unduly suffer, from investors coming. But bear in mind, a lot of people confuse the two. We're talking of investment, not trade. And so, if you are looking for investment, you try to remove the barriers that will stop the investment. But in doing so too, you need to look at the other side, which is the trade. And like I said, look at the impact on traders, for example, who feel that if you remove that minimum capital entirely, then they'll be disadvantaged because people will come in with cheaper sources of capital and be able to do things that they can't do. So it's a balance. You need to look at it. I mean, I have always said that maybe for some of our SMEs, we need to rather incentivize them so that they are much more competitive. It's just not about removing the barriers, but incentivizing them. When you incentivize them, then they become competitive. Then they have what it takes to be able to compete effectively. But if you only, protect them and you don't incentivize them, they stay in the corner. You don't want that. You want to grow them. You want some of our traders to grow into wholesalers and to grow into manufacturers, and then we ride on a growing economy. So those are all considerations that you make. But at this moment, it's in the hands of Parliament. So if Parliament decides that that's the way to go, that's the way to go. If they think that that's not the way to go, we keep going and try and make it more attractive for Ghanaians to invest and also bring in the requisite foreign direct investors that we want.